In this first look video from InfluenceWP, we are checking out a WordPress plugin called Themeswitcher Pro. This is going to allow you to run multiple themes on the same website. There's a couple of scenarios that come to mind right off the top. One, maybe you've been running a WordPress website for several years. You feel like your old theme is stale. You want to switch to a fresh new theme. So you can run both the old and the new theme at the same time, gradually moving your content and whatnot over to that new theme, eventually phasing out the old. Another scenario could be that you want to use a particular theme with your posts, another theme with your pages, another theme with your products, another theme with certain archives. There's lots of different things that you might want to apply a specific theme to that you can now easily do that. Before we poke around the website here a bit and then look at the actual solution together, just a quick bit of housekeeping. First look videos cover products and services that we have no prior experience with. They show vendors how new users experience their website, product, and services for the very first time. These videos are unedited, high-level introductions that are not sponsored or paid for, and they contain no affiliate links. If you would like videos like this or other types of videos created for your business, go to influencewp.com/partners and request your free lifetime partner membership. A quick disclosure. I like to be transparent. I've done a few takes of this video, and each time I've forgotten a major piece. I even went so far as to publish the video and make the announcements of the video and whatnot. And I've since taken all of those down because of major pieces that I've missed. So all that to say, I've done this enough times that it's not really a first look video anymore. It's teetering more towards an extended look because I've seen the settings so many times. So I like to be transparent. We're just going to go ahead and call this a first look, but it could be either a first look or extended look video. Okay. The website we're looking at here is themeswitcher.com. It's just as it sounds, the word theme and then switcher and then .com. And because I've looked at this so many times, I'm just going to direct you to exactly what I want to show you rather than actually poke around. I'm going to dive down into the footer, and I want to just highlight that you can find them on Facebook, X, LinkedIn, and they have a YouTube channel. I want to open the Web Dev Studios website, and you'll see why here in a bit. I want to open the About page and their documentation. Web Dev Studios is the team behind this plugin. If you've been in WordPress for any length of time, you will have likely heard of Web Dev Studios. They are a powerhouse team, extremely reputable. They've worked on big projects, very interesting projects. What I really wanted to point out here, though, is the team. Okay, powerhouse team. If you've been in WordPress for any length of time, you've likely heard of most of these people, if not all of them. Brad Williams here listed as a partner. I've worked with Brad to get this partnership going. He is super responsive, great guy, very generous, super supportive. Just can't recommend Brad enough. I keep saying, if you've been in WordPress for any length of time, you've probably ran across Brad. Like he's been there. Okay. I wanted to point this out for a couple of reasons. One, because of what I just showed you. And two, I kind of wish some of this love that was over here on the main website for the About page would be brought over here to the Themeswitcher Pro About page. Putting faces with names, I think, is very important. People just might not click these links to go over Web Dev Studios. So just something to think about. A little bit of feedback. Their documentation is great. If you look at any of their documentation, you will find that it's very well documented. There's annotations for all the screenshots. So let's do a search for anything here. Let's see. Let's pull this one up. Here we go. So this is, again, screenshots with annotations. So really good documentation. Yeah, I think that's about it, other than, let me pull up one more thing here. Let's go to features, just in case I miss anything. I don't think I will, but just in case. Multi-theme management, again, we'll look at this, but the ability to run multiple themes on a WordPress website. Easy conditionals, which we will look at. Just you can determine where these themes are going to run. Supports all modern block themes. I'm pretty sure this supports pretty much every theme you can think of. There might be some outliers, but I am confident that the team would work with you to if you face any issues. Developer friendly. If you are a developer and you need to deep dive into anything, they have you covered there, whether it's documentation, tutorials, or support. Enhanced features that we will also look at: theme preview and the debug panel. And they've also got a classic editor plugin to support enabling content editor override settings if you need to do that. All right, so let's go ahead and close all of this down. For this website, I have under themes, the default 2025 theme is active. I also have the Ollie block theme installed just so we can take a look at that. And then we have the WooCommerce centric storefront theme. So I wanted to show products and things like that. Under plugins, all we have going, we have the Themeswitcher Pro and WooCommerce plugins installed. And again, WooCommerce was just to show products. Looking at the Themeswitcher Pro settings, we are in the post types settings tab by default. By default, all the post types are pointing to the default theme, which is the 2025 theme. So if we go over and we open a page, let's create a new page. We'll call this, we will call this Switcher. So here's the drop down over here on the right side here of the menu here. It is showing that we are using the global settings, which again, if we go back to Themeswitcher, we see that the default settings for pages are using the default theme, which is 2025. If you don't want this checkbox or this dropdown to even be available on these pages, just go over here, untick this box, refresh the page, and it's gone. Okay, let's put that back. Let's say we want all of our pages by default to use the Ollie theme and not our default active theme. Save our changes there. Let's refresh this page. We now see that we are using the global settings in this dropdown, which the global settings for pages is the Ollie theme. Okay. So because we have that going, we can now go up to our patterns and do a search for Ollie and just start dropping in some of these patterns. There we go. Now let's say we wanted to switch this one page. We want to override this page and use the 2025 theme. We're going to see some things have changed, right? When you're in here, obviously you can't go back into patterns because Ollie is not active here. If I do that same search for Ollie, we can't find those patterns. Okay, so it not only does the theme switching, but also blocks from accessing some of those other themes. So let's say we change our mind and we don't want to use this. We can just flip it right back. Actually, we don't need to set Ollie on this particular page because it is our global setting. Save that change, boom, that's back. Okay. It works exactly the same for posts and products, but I do want to look at products because it's a bit different. We're not actually talking about building this in the back end. It's more of a front end thing. So if I go to the front end of the site, let's go to our shop. Let's open product. Here we go. We see that for products, we are using the default theme, which is 2025. If I want to put this on use more of a WooCommerce centric theme, let's set globally that we want to use storefront. So that's the before and that's the after. So you can see a pretty drastic change. Okay, let's say we want to put this back to default. And then on a per product basis, let's go into our product. Just as we did with the page, we're going to go into the product and we can set this on a product by product basis. So on this product one, let's change this to storefront. Let's refresh product one. There we go. Let's go to our shop page again. Let's pull up product two. So we see product one has unique styling over product two. And so you can just continue doing that. Like if you wanted product three to have a completely separate theme, you could do that. And none of this slows down your website. It's just loading those theme files on those particular products in this particular case. So it's not going to slow down your website at all. All right. I think that covers that. Let's go over to front page settings. So when you build a WordPress website, by default, it's going to be set to this. Your homepage is going to display your latest post. I, I don't know what the percentage is, but I would say the majority of people are going to set it to something else. They're going to use a static page for their homepage and their blog, which I've got set here. So homepage is home, post page is blog. When you go into Themeswitcher Pro, you can specify, for example, what theme is going to go with that homepage. What theme is going to go with that blog page. So let's say on our homepage here, which is running 2025, as we can see, well, you may not know that, but I know just by looking at it that is the 2025 theme. If we come over here and I say for the homepage, I want to use Ollie. Save our changes, refresh. There we go. We see that changes just that fast. And our blog page uses 2025. So let's go look at that. Let's change that over to Ollie. There we go. Drastic difference. Alrighty. So moving on for our archives. So even on like your categories, like that's how granular this can get. Categories. If I go to posts and I go to categories, when I go to create a new category, I have the option from the dropdown to choose which theme the category is going to work with. So let's say over here, let's edit this category. It's using the default global settings, which again is our default theme, 2025. Let's say that our category we want to use with this category, we want it to be Ollie. Let's go back to our categories. Let's view this category on the front end. There we go. Let's go back to that category. Let's change it to the default. So you're going to go from this. Oops, that should have taken hold. Hold on, let's see here. Category. Oh, sorry, that's my bad. I'm not in the category. Let's go to the category. There it is. There we go. So that was Ollie. Now here's the switch. We're back to 2025. There we go for just that category. Okay, and it's self-explanatory. Whether you want to target tags, post formats, you want to get into products and target brands, product categories, product tags, product shipping classes, and so on and so forth. Depending on what you have going on your website is what's going to be available here for Themeswitcher to target, right? Okay, the last thing to look at, and then I'll get you out of here, is the debug panel settings. So this option right here, Enable Theme Preview, is going to allow you to preview a theme on the front end of your site before you even make the switch. Let's tick that on, save our settings. So let's say in this category, I want to see what this would look like with Ollie before I make the actual switch. We go up here to Themeswitcher Preview, switch to Ollie. There you go. Oh, okay, I want to see what this looks like in storefront. Boom, there you go. Just that quick. Last thing here is the debug panel. So let's turn that on. So when you turn that on, you have, let's go here and refresh. So if you have the toolbar, the user toolbar enabled, the admin toolbar for your profile, you're going to see this black bar at the top. And then you now have this Themeswitcher debug panel. If you click on that, you're going to see the post type here is page, who the user is. So it's going to give you the user ID also, and it's going to give you the PHP version. It's going to tell you that the switched theme that we're looking at here is Ollie. So this page is using Ollie. The default theme overall is the 2025 theme. And then you come down here and you start seeing some information that you can provide to support if you find that you need support. Okay. So that is that in a nutshell. That is Themeswitcher Pro, but obviously super, anybody can work with this. And as I said at the beginning of this video, if you run into any issues with a specific theme from everything that I've seen, their support is extremely responsive. They're going to help you out to get around any issues that you might face. But I would venture to say that you're not going to run into many, if at all, issues when testing this out. But yeah, I hope you see the value in Themeswitcher Pro. And again, I want to thank Themeswitcher for being a partner of InfluenceWP. And be sure to go over and check out their exclusive deal on the InfluenceWP.com website and go into the deal section, do a search for Themeswitcher and grab that deal, especially before that summer deal ends. Get that double up deal there, if you will. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.